Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Chainsaw Man, chapter 197. So, yeah, we're at 197 chapters. So that means that it's been exactly 100 chapters since the last chapter of part 1. That's right. Yeah, it's been that long. Or rather, it's been that many chapters. That's crazy for me to think about. What? That feels a little crazy, yeah. Huh. Yeah, it really is, right? I'm not doing the math wrong. So, like, just the part in the story that we're at in part 2 compared to part 1, yeah, it definitely feels like we're in a bigger story. Anyway, let's talk about 196 for a little bit. So, we got the new horseman freaking out about something, you know, saying that she really feels bad for the people here, and everyone ignores her because, well, I mean, you could say it's kind of vague, but if I was one of them, I would just be like, okay, she's pitying us because, um, all the disasters and stuff, but like, why should we think about that? And now that I look at it from that angle, I think they might be exercising, Denji's main coping mechanism, which is, you know, just ignore a problem and try to just find something good in the present. And if you don't think about the future problems, it's fine. And maybe it's kind of supposed to mirror how the way that the last conversation between Denji and Asa ended with this. But yeah, she just starts crying very loudly. And we get Band-Aid Boy. And he actually tries to calm her down and asks for her help on the festival stuff. And she actually is like, okay, well, if I can save you guys with it, then maybe. And he asks for her to take out the trash bags, which seems easy enough, but of course is not about the easiness. It's because she rejects that because it's very below her talents, which, you know, obviously to us is like, well, of course you'd say that, but to a normal human who can't really see the horseman eyes, they're just like, what the hell is wrong with this girl? Uh, and then she starts talking about saving with special powers and all that. So I don't know if Bandit Boy believes it. Probably not. But he's like, okay, fine. She doesn't want to do it. I'm not gonna go through the trouble of it, and I'll just do it myself. But this is when this girl says, I don't know what your deal is, but the rest of us are here having fun working on the festival. And calls her a freak, bringing down the moon and making everyone uncomfortable. Now, She's probably right on the money about making everyone else uncomfortable, but there's way to say these things, and she definitely has no delicacy. Plus, pretty well. I saw people confirm this, but this seems to be SS bully way back at the beginning of early part two. So she definitely did not learn her lesson from when Yuko tried to kill her. So yeah, a lot of things have happened between then and now. But this character definitely didn't seem to see it as a sign to change. Because she tells her to go and crush ants. So she does. Uh, and, I mean, sure, right? A horseman, a devil, killing things makes sense. But even more so with this one, she definitely is seeing it as saving the ants. And then Bandit Boy comes in. And he actually tries to be a little sympathetic. Like, oh, if you moved to this mess of a city, you probably had some horrible experiences wherever you came from. And if this was a human girl, he'd probably be right. Uh, and honestly, I applaud him for trying. And shares how the other kids have suffered as well. But they're still trying to do something good out of this awful situation they're in. Yeah, school's the only place where we can smile like our old selves. If you want to save us, could you lend a hand with a smile? Now this is when it's like, I mean, she can pretend, but if you tell someone that's depressed and having a rough time to, oh, well, smile, it'll all be fine. Like, that sounds very, very dismissive of what their problem might be or their, the extent of their emotions. But, he tried. So she knows that the festival is sure to fail, but she has the power to save them. Okay. And that's when she grabs his forehead and says, through death, I'll release you from your earthly suffering. So, yeah. Like, obviously, any devil has no trouble killing people. Well, I would say most devils. Whether it's like mentally or physically, I'd say most. But, like, yeah, considering the way she looks, this screams like, it could be the Death Devil. And the eyes make it clear this is a horseman. But like I said, she still has not said, I am the Death Devil. So I'm holding on of actually assuming that. Very interesting angle to go with this devil. Definitely interested in what she has to offer as a character. And I said, like, oh, maybe we could beat her by showing her that life is actually worth living when our characters get to a point they can realize it and say it to someone else. Doesn't have to be a fight though, since I'm pretty sure Yoda will be the main or final villain of part 2. It could just be a conversation. Fujimoto could surprise us like that. But anyway, some heroic silhouette happens to see this happening and is identified as Chainsaw Man and starts up saying, "Listen, somebody's calling for help with a heart that burns to right wrongs." Now, I have no idea how the original Japanese phrased this, but burns, fire, I'm just saying that might be a hint to who this is. I've come from the depths of hell, engine revved and ready. But yeah, somebody's calling for help. No one did, though. So, I'm not exactly sure who he's talking about here. Whether it's the horseman or Band-Aid Boy. But he lands in front of them. The horseman says, "I'll save you too." Meaning, I'll kill you. Defeating devils with devil powers, delivering justice with the power of justice. Okay, so cheesy, but we should have expected that. That's right, my name is Chainsaw Man, and we get a good look at his design. And I really like it, actually. Feels very fitting with being a copy. What someone thinks Chainsaw Man looks like. An amalgamation of different ideas, still resembling what Chainsaw Man is supposed to look like. That's it. Yeah, I went back and looked at the panels that we've seen this individual before. And the hands definitely looked more human before, so is it the same person or did they evolve? let's say that. Okay, so let's get into next chapter. Also, since I'm always transparent about me being spoiled, my sleepy self in Tuesday morning looked at Twitter, and I'm pretty sure I saw a panel of Band-Aid Boy dead. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. The chapter's titled 3 Seconds. Alright. Okay. Band-Aid Boy, Horseman are both looking at Fake Cell with the cape flying in the wind. Or floating. Chainsaw Man or not? Don't worry, young man, I'm gonna rescue you now. Oh, so he was talking about Bandit Boy. She's just kidding around. Yeah, okay, so even then he didn't believe that she had powers, even with what she was saying. Bandit Boy, he's too naive, but also good-hearted. Okay, he's leaping towards them, probably towards the horseman. Yeah, they're going directly towards her. We get a zoom in on her face as she closes her eyes and says, "Show me what you got," as she puts her fists up. Oh, really? Okay. He lands behind her, and both of her hands fall off in the ground. Interesting. Huh. I don't know what to make of that. You know, since horsemen are like super strong, they're not always like prime devil uh, power. You know, it depends. But usually I'd expect a horseman to be able to do something about this. Though we've never really seen Femi being able to fight herself. She always uses someone else to do that for her. So maybe something like this. But then, like, what was she gonna do with the boy? Then again, the boy doesn't have any kind of powers. Okay. She tries to do a really um, quick high kick towards Feixo. And it doesn't really seem to face him at all. So he cuts her leg off, the one that kicked him, and cuts her top half as well. Alright then. Hmm. Like, like, nah, I'm still not believing it. This is definitely not the end of her. But Band-Aid Boy screams. Of course. Like, that's still a really awful sight to see, especially if he thinks that's just a regular human. Whoa. Okay. It was so quick. Her body parts are still in the air. But yeah, he's looking completely horrified. Huh? That was easy. Was she really the right girl? Also, yeah, also, aside from the whole justice talk, it's very rare for Denji to fight a girl, especially one that didn't really seem to have any sort of fighting prowess, as far as he knew. So, yeah, that's another thing that he doesn't even like know or try to imitate. Yeah, that's true, but yeah, you've never steered me wrong before. Who's he talking to? Himself? Hmm? He looks at the boy. I'm Chainsaw Man, devil killing avatar of justice. Alright. It's my job to stop the coming prophecies of Nostradamus. Okay, so he knows about that. The girl was an evil devil, partly responsible for destruction. Hmm. Hmm. Was she? Is she? Uh, like, even if this does kill the horseman, I mean, she's a devil, she can just come back. But would it be the one with the exact same personality? I don't know. We'll have to wait. Yeah, he sounds so confident that that's making me uh, not trust what I was assuming, or what I was trying not to assume. The boy just keeps on looking baffled, sweating. What are you talking about? She was just a cringy, weird kid, that's all. Oh my god, the panel of Fixo just full body trying to take that in. No, we don't make mistakes. Cause the Justice Devil's inside me and I'm Chainsaw Man. Okay. So Justice Devil, right? Uh-huh. So whoever this is thinks they made a deal or a contract with the Justice Devil, but it's gotta be the Fire Devil, right? Hmm. Yeah, but this is definitely a blind follower. And probably has worked with the church before. But yeah, the we. Is this really the first time that Fake saw uh like killed someone? He's like, wait a minute. Did I do something wrong? That's kind of crazy. But like the more time passes, the more I'm thinking, wait a minute. Surely not, right? Like that was a horseman devil. In that, I don't think that was wrong or a mistake. But let's keep reading. Damn it. Why does no one ever listen to me? Oh shit. The horseman's one of the horseman's hands is clinging to his leg. Well, that's freaky. Look out! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh crap. Yeah, I did see right. It was Band-Aid Boy in that panel looking dead. Shit. Man. Rest in peace. You only lasted 2 chapters, but you were kinda cool. But yeah, he got completely like bled dry like a mummy. And now the body parts are putting themselves back together. Okay. Fair enough. You know what? You can't blame me for being unsure for a second, considering it was taking her so long to heal. But okay. See, I told you so. She absorbed your life to rise from the dead. Then why didn't you do anything? He just said, look out! But didn't even try to move. Even though he was so quick before. She's a devil after all. Okay. I mean, that is true. But just because she's a devil doesn't automatically make her evil, you know? You gotta first wait and see. Then again, she did just kill this boy. And she sees death as just saving people. But, you know, uh, surely. I still don't. I'm still like, wait. Let's give her a little bit more time. Surely she cannot be worse than Yoru. Your center of gravity and lower body stance. You dabble in karate and just as mattering of boxing, right? Damn, she was able to tell all that from the quick hits he got on her. Judging from the meaningless leap when you arrive and the monotonous close combat, you can probably only attack physically. Based on that analysis. Oh boy, okay, she's smart. She's holding out her hand towards him. Oh, towards the sky. Chainsaw Man, I will save you in 3 seconds. Oh, that's the title. Oh damn. Yo, dude, you better run if you want to live. Oh shit, they're actually facing off. They're both speeding towards each other. Oh, okay. Oh, he was able to cut her up again. Yeah. Okay. Her reaction as her head fell to the ground. Okay, that's kind of funny. She's genuinely looking surprised. Help, help, forgive me, help. She's so weak. That's definitely meant to be a punchline. Okay, that's comedy, bro. Bro, what? She basically said, "I'll kill you in 3 seconds." She really tried to aura farm, and then realized that she's not her. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't use the word aura, seriously. I just think it's funny. She looks so sure of herself. As sure as she can be when she's always crying. But it also, like, it looked convincing because of how uh, accurate it seemed that the information she gathered from his fighting style seemed to be all correct from the way that Fake Soul reacted. And then you just get the last page. And it's like, oh no, that still did not help her. That's so funny. I don't, like, okay. I don't know if we got enough characterization from her, considering she spent most of the chapter dead, to really uh, have a good discussion on the role she could play in the future, especially with the goofy ass ending here. But I don't know where the hell we're going with this character. But yeah, Rip Bandit Boy, he had potential, but unfortunately he had to be sacrificed for this horseman to keep going. Also, the way she put herself back together, is that the first time I've ever seen how this actually happens? Because every time Denji regenerates, it's always off screen. So I hadn't even thought about it, but there's a possibility that this horseman is not in devil form and it's actually in a fiend. Then again, I mean, Ryoru Asa is such a weird case. But I'm pretty sure Makima and Fami and Nayuta were all just pure devils. I'm just saying because, like, if a devil like that died like this, they would just die and go to hell, right? And then the cycle would happen. But that doesn't seem to be happening with her. And, with Makima, it was just because of the contract she had with the Prime Minister that she was able to keep dying and dying and dying. I really doubt this horseman has that. So that's what makes me think it's a fiend. But even a fiend would die from these injuries. So I don't know, actually. I'm a little stumped. As comedic as it was, just the fact that she's able to put herself back together by killing someone after she's been cut up like this, it's actually big trouble. if we're not able to kill her permanently. This uh, this version of this horseman anyway. Hmm. But if we are to assume that this is the death devil that fought against Pochta, uh, for one, it is weird that she's not being like, huh, you're not Chainsaw Man. I fought him before, and he doesn't look like you. But she didn't. So that's a little. That's also puts a little hole in the this is the devil, the death devil theory. So yeah, I don't know. Um, but Fixel, so it's a person who made a contract with the Fire Devil, right? We don't make mistakes. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We don't get an idea of whether this is the same one that killed Yuko and helped Denji and Nasa from getting back from hell in the Falling Devil arc. So yeah, but we gotta put a pin on that. But yeah, just the way that Fake Sauce is everything in black and white definitely makes me even more sure that this idea that we have about how the Death Devil was going to be is not gonna be so clear and dry. And we should have, a bit of an. We should wait a little bit to judge, basically. So, yeah, I think that's gonna be my reaction to this chapter. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.